You don't feel stuck because you're missing something. You feel stuck because you're holding on to too much. You try to be better, more disciplined, more controlled, more good. But the more you try, the more exhausted you feel. You smile when something feels wrong. You explain yourself just to be understood. You stay, even when you know you shouldn't. And here's the uncomfortable truth. You're not becoming a better version of yourself. You're slowly losing the real one. Carl Jung believed real transformation doesn't come from adding more. It comes from letting parts of you die. And what you're about to hear might explain why you've been feeling this way for so long. If you've ever felt like you're disappearing while trying to improve, watch this until the end. *** Part 1. The Good Person Mask ***. You think you're a good person. You're kind, easygoing. You don't want to upset anyone. Someone asks you for a favor. You hesitate, but you still say yes. You smile, even when something feels off inside, and you call that maturity. It's not. It's fear of being disliked. Jung called this the persona, the mask you wear to be accepted. You're not being real, you're performing. And every time you choose to please others, you move a little further away from yourself. The biggest mistake, believing I need people to like me to be okay. You don't. You just need to be honest. Start small. Say no without over-explaining. Set boundaries without guilt. It will feel uncomfortable at first, but that discomfort is you coming back to yourself. And this is only the first layer. Asterisk. Punchline. Asterisk. You're not weak. You're just living behind a mask. Part 2. The urge to fix everyone. You think you're helping. Someone is struggling. You step in immediately. You listen, you analyze, you give advice, you try to fix it. At first it feels right, like you're doing something meaningful. But then something strange happens. They don't change, and you start to feel drained, frustrated, even a little resentful. And here's the uncomfortable truth. You weren't just helping them. You were trying to prove your value. Jung called this the wounded healer. It sounds noble, but most of the time, it's driven by your own unmet needs. You need to feel needed. So you attach yourself to their problems. You make their pain your responsibility. And slowly, you lose yourself in the process. That's the trap. The mistake isn't caring. The mistake is turning their struggle into your identity. Real strength looks different. You stop fixing. You start observing. You stay present. You listen without trying to control the outcome. You don't rush to save. You don't take over their story. Because deep down you understand, people only change when they choose to. And when you finally let go, your energy comes back to you. But here's the part most people don't see coming. You weren't helping them, you were abandoning yourself. Part 3. The need to be understood. You explain yourself. You try to be clear. You choose your words carefully. Because you want them to understand you. You want them to see your intention, your perspective, your truth. And for a moment, it feels important. Because if they understand you, you feel valid. But here's the problem. What happens when they don't? They misunderstand you. They twist your words. Or worse, they don't even try. And suddenly, you feel uneasy. You go back. You explain again. More details, more effort, more energy. Until you start questioning yourself. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe I didn't say it well enough. And without realizing it, you've handed your self-worth to them. That's the trap. You're outsourcing your reality. Jung believed true psychological strength comes from within, not from being confirmed by others. Because the truth is, not everyone has the capacity to understand you, and that's not your failure. The shift happens when you stop over-explaining. You say what needs to be said once, clearly, directly, no chasing, no convincing, because you trust your own perception. And when you do that, something changes. You become grounded, unshaken. But here's what most people never realize. The moment you stop needing to be understood is the moment you become powerful. Part 4. The illusion of who they could be. You don't fall in love with who they are. You fall in love with who they could become. You see their potential, the version of them that's kinder, more aware, more ready. You tell yourself, they just need time. They'll change. So you stay, even when something feels off, even when the pattern repeats. Because in your mind, the future version of them is worth the pain. But here's the problem. That version doesn't exist. At least not right now. And you're not in a relationship with their future. You're in a relationship with their present. This is projection. You're not seeing them clearly. You're seeing your hope. And hope can be dangerous. Because it makes you tolerate what you shouldn't. It keeps you waiting instead of deciding. That's how you get stuck. Not because you don't see the red flags, but because you choose to believe in the potential instead. The shift is painful. You stop focusing on who they could be, and you face who they are. No filters, no imagination, just reality. And when you do that, clarity replaces confusion. You stop waiting, you start choosing. But this next layer goes even deeper. You're not attached to them, you're attached to the illusion you created. Number, Part 5. The identity of being wounded. This is the deepest layer, and the most dangerous one. You don't just have pain. You become the pain. You tell yourself, this is who I am, because of what happened. And it makes sense. You went through things. You were hurt. You had to survive. But over time, something shifts. The story becomes your identity. You don't just remember the pain. You start seeing everything through it. Every situation, every relationship, every reaction. And without realizing it, you're no longer living your life. You're repeating your past. Jung called this the victim mindset. Not to blame you, but to wake you up, because as long as you define yourself by your wounds, you stay inside them. That's the trap. Healing isn't about erasing what happened. It's about integrating it and moving forward. You stop asking, why did this happen to me? And you start asking, who am I becoming because of this? That question changes everything. Because now, you're not stuck. You're evolving. And when you stop building your identity around pain, you finally create space for something new, something real. You don't heal by holding on to the wound. You heal by becoming more than it. Real transformation doesn't feel like progress. It feels like loss. You lose the mask. You lose the roles. You lose the version of you that was built to survive. And for a moment, there's nothing left. Just silence. Just emptiness. That's the void. Most people panic there. They rush to rebuild, to become someone new as fast as possible. But if you can stay in that space without escaping it, something different happens. You don't rebuild a better version of yourself. You uncover the one that was always there. No performance, no approval seeking, no illusion, just clarity. So the real question isn't, how do I become more? It's, what am I finally ready to let go of? If something in this video hit you, don't ignore it. That discomfort, that's the beginning of your real transformation.